Hi, thanks for joining me for this week's Start to Finish Sunday video. There's a couple things that went into designing the card that we're going to make today. One, just wanted to remind everybody that Sale-a-Bration is still going on through March 22nd. We've got another couple weeks for Sale-a-Bration. Don't forget, you can get free exclusive products, one for every $50 you spend. So we're going to be using this Patterned Occasion stamp set today. This is one of the options that you can get free with a $50 order. And also I'm going to be using the Sycamore Street designer paper. This is my absolute favorite pattern in that paper, and that is another option. And then another thing that I wanted to share with you, I feel like I have really been in a rut lately, and so I know a couple of weeks ago I did a video for kind of breaking through creative block. This is kind of another one of those today. One thing that I find when I'm feeling stuck is if I just make something, doesn't matter what it is, I just make anything, that'll kind of get the ball rolling again. So I'm using Stampin' Up's note cards and envelopes. They come in a package like this, and you get 20 of them. These work out to be a 3.5 by 5 inch card when you're finished, so it's a great small format. So today we are going to use these along with these two Sale-a-Bration items to make a very quick, super simple, easy birthday card. And this is a great project that you can use as a sketch to just throw together a card for any occasion when you need a card at the last minute, or you just need to get your creative juices flowing again. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm starting out with one of Stampin' Up's note cards. This is in Whisper White, and they're pre-scored for you. So I'm just going to fold on that score line and just go over it with my bone folder to make sure that it's nicely creased. And this is a great little small format note card for quick and easy projects like this one. Then I have a piece of our Pool Party Coordinations cardstock, and this measures 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. First, I'm going to use the honeycomb embossing folder, and I'm just going to place my Pool Party piece inside, and I'll go ahead and run this through my Big Shot real quick. And now I'm just going to take the Stampin' sanding system, and I'm just going to run this over my embossed cardstock so that we can see that lighter colored core. And now I can go ahead and add this embossed piece onto my note card. I'll just center and stick that down. And now I can go ahead and just set my card base aside for a few minutes. Okay, now I just have a small scrap of Whisper White cardstock that I'm going to do my stamping on. And I'm going to use the cupcake image from the Patterned Occasion Sale-a-Bration stamp set. And I'm using markers to color it. I have Island Indigo, Tangerine Tango, Summer Starfruit, and Pool Party. So I'm going to use Pool Party to color the frosting. And I'm only coloring in the cupcake image. I'm going to use a different sentiment, so I'm not going to color in the sentiment that is on this stamp. And I'll use Tangerine Tango for the base of the cupcake. I'm going to use Island Indigo on the candle and Summer Starfruit for the little heart at the top of the candle here, a little heart-shaped flame. And remember, when you're stamping with markers, you want to huff on your stamp, which means you breathe warm, moist air to reactivate the ink. And then I will stamp that down. And there I have this adorable little multicolored and perfectly coordinated stamped image. Now I have the Sycamore Street designer paper, and this piece measures 2 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And I'm going to use my scissors to cut, to cut a banner end into the bottom of this piece. And that is going to go on my card just like that. But first I'm going to take the extra large oval punch and I'm going to punch in the center of this banner, and we're going to use the negative portion. But I want to show you real quick a trick for getting perfect placement with your punches. This is just a scrap of Whisper White, and I'm going to go ahead and punch out the oval shape. And when you're punching out and you're using the negative portion, you want to make sure that it's perfectly centered and exactly where you want it to be. So I'm going to just put some adhesive on the back of this, and then I can go ahead and line it up and make sure that it is exactly where I want to be. And this is going to be kind of a little template for me. So you get that positioned perfectly where you want it. And then you just go back in with your punch, line that template up inside the hole of the punch, and punch it out. And then you have that negative window exactly where you want it to be every single time. So that is going to go right on here. And we're going to place the cupcake image that we colored behind that window. I'm actually going to use dimensionals on the cupcake portion. So we'll just place a few dimensionals on my banner. And then while I'm at it, I'll just put the rest of the dimensionals on as well. Okay, for right now I just want to remove the backing on the ones that are around the window. I'm gonna trim down my cupcake piece a little bit. And now I'll just line this up in my window. Just like that. Okay. Now I can remove the backing from the rest of my dimensionals. And I'm also going to use my snail and put that on the back of this Whisper White piece. Then I will just come in here and line this up on the left-hand side of my card. Make sure that cupcake image is stuck down. Okay, and now that's all set, so let's go ahead and work on our sentiment. I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock here that measures about 3/8 of an inch wide, and I'm using the Happy Birthday sentiment from the Teeny Tiny Wishes stamp set, and I'm using my Stamp-A-Majig for perfect placement of this sentiment. I'm going to just use my Island Indigo marker, ink that up. Okay. Double check my placement on here. And go ahead and stamp that. Okay, so I trimmed this piece down a little bit, and I'm just going to cut a little banner end on this piece as well. And then this is going to get attached right about there on my card. So I'm going to trim this down just a little bit. I do want to keep a little bit of a tail there because I'm going to attach this using a button. Okay, I actually decided that I wanted to change the placement of my sentiment, and I'm going to use one of these silver designer buttons. These are in the spring catalog. So I'm just going to adhere my banner with a little bit of snail. That's going to go on just like that. And now I took a piece of white baker's twine and I strung this through my button. I'm going to put a couple of mini glue dots on the back of my button, and I'll just place that at the end of my sentiment. Okay. And I like to adhere my button before I tie my bow because then it just gives me a little bit of extra stability. And I'll just adjust my little bow here, like that. Trim down the ends. And there we have a super simple, quick and easy, and really, really cute birthday card. So thanks again for joining me for this week's video. I hope that this gave you some ideas that you are excited to try. And don't forget, Sale-a-Bration is still running through, I should say, March 22nd. If you have any questions, let me know. And I will see you next week for another video. Until then, happy stampin'. Bye-bye.